everyone, this is Kalias von Kreatives Leben. Today I'm creating a Zine and I'm doing this as a cooperation or a swap with Almut Olsson. I will have all our details underneath in the info box. So if you want to check out her channel and see her interpretation of design, please go and check her out. My interpretation of design is going to be very simple, if I may say so. So basically, I've decided, or I haven't decided, it just happened that I'm not going to use any paint. I'm basically using tissue paper and different collage pieces from different napkins and from newspapers, magazines, etc. And I'm just collaging. So I'm using I'm not using many different things. I'm basically using my Tombow markers, and here I'm using my matte medium from Liquitex. This is basically all I need, and I have all these different napkins and tissue paper and decoupage paper. So what I'm doing here is I'm creating a sort of pockets that I'm going to use into my Zine. I've decided that I wanted pockets. I wanted to have a tag, even two tags. So what I'm creating here, I'm going to use in my little Zine and just have them as add-on in my little Zine. And yeah, I really like the outcome. The topic that I've chosen for this Zine is Easter, and because it's soon going to be Easter and it's very spring-like, and I just like the fact that it would be colorful. I am a very light mood lately. I'm just looking forward to the spring and to everything that happens, the colors, the warmth, the flowers. So this makes me very happy. And this is what I'm trying to reflect also in my little Zine. So it's a very positive Zine and colorful Zine with lots of greens and um, tissue paper, which I really like. So basically what I'm doing here is I'm laying one layer over the others. And because they're all very transparent, they're all tissue paper or napkins, with the exception of the ones that are on the first layer. Um, it it's all very layered, very transparent. I really like that. So here I'm taking a piece of paper. It's A4 or letter size if you want, and I've decided first to give it a background so that it also looks from one take. So I'm not going to cut it up yet or fold it yet. I'm just putting everything there, and I'm starting with this very um, it's not very transparent. It's very opaque. This white decoupage paper with the notes on it. That's why I wanted to put it as the first layer, and then I'm going to use tissue paper on top of it. What you see me doing here is that I'm taking the magazine pieces and I'm putting some matte medium on their back, and I'm not sticking them down immediately. I'm giving them I'm giving the matte medium time to soak into the paper, so that afterwards there is no bubbles, there is no wrinkles, there are no. So when you have thicker paper, so tissue paper is not an issue. You have to be very careful, but paper that is not very porous, I would recommend to turn it, to put some matte medium on the back, let it soak a little bit, and only stick it then, and then it gets really perfect, and there is no wrinkle, etc. For old paper, as you can see, I've used also old paper. No worries, it's very porous, so you can just stick it on, and tissue paper is just amazing. Um, Here you need to be careful. As soon as it's wet, it will tend to fall apart. So just put some matte medium onto your page, and that's just stick it down and go immediately very fast over your tissue paper to make sure that there are no wrinkles and that it's sealed. So that's basically what I'm doing. So I'm doing my old page, and I have nothing in mind. I want design to the different pictures that I'm going to have on my Zine to evolve as I create. And basically that's what I can recommend. You don't need to have you can have an idea in mind, of course. If you've seen my first Zine that I created online, I knew exactly what I was doing. I had, already thought about where am I going to fold it, etc. And my drawing was um, along these lines. But here it's different. So I have folded already, I've cut it. You need to make one middle cut. If you're not sure how to do it, look for my previous video on how to do a zine, and it gives you all the details. So now I'm taking the little pieces that I created at the beginning and I'm sticking them down so that they create pockets, and I'm using basically my tissue paper as tape. Um, it's so much nicer. You don't realize that I'm using them as tape. As long as it's wet, you need to be careful. So don't go over it, don't pull at it, etc. But once it's dry, it's perfect. It holds everything in place, and I think it looks great. So basically, here I've decided to have the left-hand side. I'm sticking everything down so there is no pocket. It becomes part of the page because there are similar colors and I'm going over it with tissue paper, so it's just one big page. And then on the right hand side I've created a little pocket and I'm going to put a tag in there. And here I'm continuing, but now because there are little pages, now I have a better, I'm trying to influence a little bit more than I was doing before. I have better idea of what I want to do. And now I'm going to create little pages. And as you can see here, I'm taking this wonderful tissue paper with lots of bunnies. You will recognize it is from Potter, of course. She has wonderful painting. And I found this tissue paper when I was in London, last time I was in London. And I've been waiting for Easter to use it finally, and here it is. I'm using it, and it's just a wonderful paper. It's all I can say. I'm going to use it on another page. I will have a little bunny. They're not Easter bunny, but for my purpose, they become Easter bunny. I'm going to add eggs as well, so that it's clear that they're here to bring us some joy and some eggs. Um, the challenge here is because I'm working on multiple pages. Actually, if you want to do it right, you should work on one page at a time. Otherwise, you're going to stick your pages together. And so you need to take breaks in between and have the pages dry in between to make sure that it works out fine. And you see here, this is another little bunny I'm adding. Aren't they cute? I just think they're cute. I'm adding it to the page. I'm removing the top part that doesn't fit. And here what I like about the tissue paper is it's not only the bunnies. You can see there is also some text and it adds supplementary structure to my page. And here you see I'm using this as a flap to hold the page together. As I told you, there are some pages that are, because in the zines you have double pages actually, so you have to bring them together if you don't want to create a pocket or a latch or whatever you want to do. So here I am taking my tissue paper and putting everything in place. It's getting more and more concrete, as you can see, and now I've decided to take my little tags and I have added, so you remember the pieces I created at the beginning? I'm simply taking an existing tag, I'm putting some matte medium on the back so that if there is something on it, I can remove it easily so that it doesn't get dirty. Here I'm adding a rub-on. Basically, this is all I've been using. I've been using rub-ons, I'm using Tombow markers and tissue paper I had laying around. So maybe, yeah, some investments are required, but you could do this even without the tissue paper, or there is very cheap tissue paper for these, or use napkins. They have wonderful things. Here I'm using another, this is for the front page, I'm using another rub-ons. These are all rub-ons from Tim Holtz. So you can see I have the package just on the top of my screen. And I'm, yeah, I'm using, I'm sure there is this popsicle stick somewhere, to rub it on, but I didn't have time to search for it. I just took my scissors and I just rub it on. And here you see me taking my Tombow markers. So I basically, in this little booklet, used 3 Tombow markers. I have 555, 515, and 245. So many different fivers. And I'm just surrounding my little rabbit to make sure that it's, well, it can be well seen. You can see it. I had this little decoration. I think it's made out of paper. I wanted to put it on my page. I put it on my page, but I didn't remove it, but I'm not sure it really added anything. I think I could have done without it. But you do things and then afterwards you regret and then you try to hide it, which I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to remove some of it by putting layers of the tissue paper on top. So I'm putting some green and I'm going to put also some light blue and also some of the transparent napkins that I have with some pictures on it, and I'm just adding layers after layers. And oh, I have this wonderful gloves with 4 leaves, and I received this with a happy mail from Dagmar, and I liked the colors. I felt that they were fitting, and I felt that it would bring some luck and some happiness again on this page, because this page is all about happiness, and I am sticking it down there as well. And what I think I will not be showing, so I'm not going to show you now all the pages because it will become long again, and I know how it is. You don't want to watch hours of films, so you just focus on what you're interested in. So I've removed some of it. I'm going back with my Tombow marker, and I'm here sticking some more, some more napkin. And this is my first page. And I think I'm going to show you the second page as well, or part of it at least. And here I'm basically going to add an Easter nest with, sticker that I had. It's glossy and it's shiny, so I felt it would be okay. And some more rub-ons with some little birds and some flowers around my little Easter egg nest. Sorry. And yeah, a little rub-on here as well. And that's not you don't need much more. And here I'm using a little, yeah. And here you see me taking out my how do you call it? My tag, where I had written Easter. And here I have some, I don't know, it's a sticker I received from my mom, I think, and because I wanted to have some black on the last page, because there is some black there as well, and because it was very shiny and very bright, I took some napkin and I'm putting this little bird to put the black a little bit more in the background. And here you go, you have a little bird at the end of my little zines, and you have two different um, tags that you can take out, and I love it. So I'm here giving you a close up on the different pages. So you see I've added an egg and made everything very Easterly. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did while creating. If you liked it, give me a thumbs up, and if you haven't done so, please subscribe my channel. Bye bye.